It is me. It is I. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Hi. My name is Wendy Ivy, also known as the Geek Goddess, here on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about some brand new Book of the Month books that are going to be coming out in May. We're going to take a look at all the 6 selections as well as the synopsis for each one, and then we're going to decide if whether it's worth the pick or whether we should just skip it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we got 6 choices to choose from Book of the Month this month. We've got our selection of sci-fi, the usual historical fiction, the usual thriller. We also got fantasy as well. So I do love that we have some added selections here, as well as our usual romance. First of all, I have to say, I apologize if you see that stain on my shirt. I was like opening up my concealer bottle, and then it just like splashed all over the place, and it splashed on my shirt and I couldn't take it out. So we're dealing with this right now because I already like made my whole makeup look match with my shirt, and I don't have any other pink shirts. So this is how it's gonna go. Like, this is how it's gonna be. So we're dealing with this stain. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the very first book of the month, and then of course we're gonna talk about the add-ons that they have added on and the spotlight titles as well. So the first one is a sci-fi that I'm so excited for because this was one of my most anticipated releases for 2024, and it is called The Ministry of Time by Callie Bradley. The little short synopsis says like, oh, if you can't find the love of your life, maybe you're in the wrong timeline, or maybe they're in the wrong place of time. And it is following our main character who gets the opportunity of a lifetime to work for a brand new place for some scientists or like a government agency that is trying to work with time travel to see if it's really possible, and if it is possible, how severe is that rip in time if you were to change something like back in time. How does like going back into the past and changing something affect our current present state? So that is what she works for. So she's tasked with working as a bridge. They're called bridges. So she basically monitors and assists somebody called an expat known as 1847, or like commander, like he's some sort of commander. So as far as like history goes, so he died on this expedition in 1845, and it was an expedition that was meant to go to the Arctic. It failed and he passed away in it. So he's a little like surprised and a little hesitant to spend time 24 hours a day with this woman who is unmarried, who shows her calves, because again, it's the 1800s, so just showing your calves was a little promiscuous, you know, who talks about washing machines and Spotify, and he's like, oh, who are you? What are you doing? Like, why are you showing your calves? Girl, raunchy. So she basically has to obviously observe him and assist him during this time in the 1800s. So then after spending a year with him, it becomes obviously a very awkward roommate situation because she's from our present time, or maybe even a little bit in the future, and he is from the past. And then because of that, they eventually start to develop more feelings for each other. However, that commander bridge guy, he doesn't know why she's there. It seems like he doesn't know why she's there. And so they start to fall in love, and then our main character is faced with like the consequences of like, okay, well now what do I have to do? Because the plans with this man, I don't know if they're still gonna let him pass away, and obviously she's developing feelings for him. So it's like, where does she stand between her position and her job and then her falling for this man? This one seems really good. This is definitely going to be added to my box. Like, I'm already picking this one. So this one's an automatic pick for me. This one also says, for the little deets, this is a romance. It is emotional. It says it is movie-ish, so it plays out like a movie in your head, and is also salacious. So we got some smut, spicy. So if you're into that, you might like this one. I'm definitely adding it because I like all of those things. The next one is a crime fiction novel. It is called Middletide by Sarah Crouch. And this is a debut early release crime fiction. And this one is basically following a writer who is just, you know, living his life in his home one morning, and then a lifeless body just kind of shows up at his door. So he ends up calling like the sheriff, the police, and then they come and then they're like, oh yeah, what's going on here? And then he's like, what do you mean what's going on here? And it turns out that these murders that are happening, these bodies that are showing up, they're following very closely to the writer, the author's books. So I guess what's happening in real life, they're almost like they're following what the writer is doing and living out his like scenes within his books. And so obviously he's connected very closely to it, and so he gets pulled into it. I mean, the body was found in his home, and then it takes off from there. This one is supposed to be a slow build, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of like crime fiction. This one doesn't really call to me. But if you're a fan of that, you might like that. It's a non-linear timeline. This is a writer's life. So if you like books about authors, you might like this one. And it also has to do with nature. So the next book is a mystery, and it is called The Return of Ellie Black by Emiko Jean. And in this one we are following a detective. And this detective, she is basically working on this case when a girl named Ellie, right? Yeah. Okay, so this teenager named Ellie Black goes missing in the woods, and this is something that she is very close to because when she was younger, her sister actually ended up going missing in the woods as well. So of course she takes this very seriously, but then Ellie reappears, and so they're like, whoa, okay, she didn't, like, she's not unalive, like something, she's back. So then this detective starts grilling her on what happened, but she is not speaking about anything. Like, Ellie Black keeps her mouth shut, so the detective doesn't know who's out there, what is going on, and she like feels very connected to this case because of what happened to her sister and to prevent anything from happening in the future. So this one, again, if you are into like detective thrillers or mysteries, this might be your go-to. I'm not like a huge like detective person, so this one is like to me, but if this is your jam, then this is your jam. I'm skipping this one, so I'm going to say skip, but if this is your jam and you're into that, you might want to pick this one up. So the next one is called Five Broken Blades by Mai Corland, and this is a fantasy book. This one does look interesting. It says it's fantasy. I'm hoping it's not YA. I'm gonna have to double check to make sure it's not YA and it's adult fantasy because I'm not a fan of YA fantasy. This one does seem good. This one is about 5 different like liars slash like assassin people, and they're all sent to kill this immortal king. So the immortal king he has it coming, okay? He's like a bad person. And while he's on the throne, basically all the nobles thrive, but all the poor, innocent people are like sold, hunted down, being treated like absolute dog poop because, you know, they're lower class and they're not nobles. So obviously this king has it coming. So these 5 people have to work together to try and assassinate this king. And so obviously they can't do it each on their own. So they're going to have to somehow team up together to get the king. However, the only problem is that only one can take the crown. So there's that dilemma. This is a first in a series. It contains LGBTQ+ themes. It's over 400 pages. We get multiple viewpoints. And again, the first in a series. So this one does sound good. I think I might, as long as it's not YA, this is going to also be a pick for me. Okay, so the next one is a romance by Christina Lauren, who is obviously a repeat author for Book of the Month, and it is called The Paradise Problem. And in this one we are following 2 characters. We are following Liam and we are following Anna. So Liam and Anna cannot be like complete opposites. So when they were younger, they decide to make this like pact and they end up getting married at like a very young age. But then Anna thinks that the wedding or the marriage has been like let go, like she doesn't have, like she's no longer married. And so we follow them into their future as Anna is like this like struggling person, like she's trying to make ends meet, and Liam is like working for like this university. However, Liam isn't happy with his life either. He is just waiting for his inheritance from his grandfather. But the catch is that the inheritance, his grandfather will only give it to him if he has been married for 5 years, which apparently he still is, to Anna. So lo and behold, the family wants to meet this mysterious wife, and he hits up Anna, and Anna is just like, she's a roller coaster. She's a firecracker, okay? And then he's like, how am I gonna make this work? But they're gonna have to somehow make it work if he wants the money. And obviously it's a romance, so they're probably gonna fall in love. This one seems really good. This is a really interesting concept. Christina Lauren, though, the thing that I noticed with her is that she doesn't do smut. I feel like her romance is very like Fade to Black, Closed Door. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Like, if I'm gonna read a romance, you better give me some smut. Cause then what's the point of a romance? I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. But give me some smut if you're gonna give me some romance. That's how I am. That's my thing. So I don't know if I'm going to be picking this up because of that. But if you tell me that there is a smut scene, then I'll pick it up. So there's that one. So I will skip for now. So the next one is a literary fiction, and it's called Real Americans by Rachel Kong. And in this one, we are following these characters. So we have Lily, and Lily, this is following the era of like Y2K, and Lily is very different. She meets Matthew, and they are very different. Okay, Lily Chen is not, she doesn't have a lot of money, and Matthew has a lot of money, you know. She is a like native East Coaster, and then Matthew's like the complete total opposite. But even despite all this, they end up falling in love. And then years down the road in 2021, we follow Lily's son as he starts questioning his mom and asking about his father, his biological father, and like she's just kind of shrugging him off. And so he's like, all right, you're hiding something. So he goes and sets off to find his biological father. And it also says, so this says it's over 400 pages. It's a family drama, multiple viewpoints, and a non-linear timeline. So that is the last book. This one, I'm probably gonna skip it. Nothing really calls. This one doesn't really call to me. So out of the 6 picks, the 2 that I definitely have on my radar is going to be The Ministry of Time and The 5 Broken Blades. Sorry, I'm gonna step down right here. So let's take a look at the spotlight titles and the new and recent add-ons. So first we have this whole new Storytime Volume 0. It's a brand new effort from Book of the Month. 7 short stories in one slender collection. If you like it, we'll make more. This one seems pretty interesting, honestly. It sounds pretty interesting. I might add this to the box out of curiosity, because who knows, like if they don't make any more, it could be worth something in the future, you know. So even if I don't read it, which I probably will for like a vlog or something, we'll see how that goes. So for spotlight titles, they have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which makes sense, it's a sci-fi. The Familiar by Leah Bardugo, The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, Heartless Hunter by Kristen Kisarelli, The Woman by Kristen Hanna, The Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and then First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. The new and recent add-ons, they have some nice ones here. The covers are nice. Did I Ever Tell You by Genevieve Kingston, Spinning Gold by Carmelia Locus, The Demon of Unrest by Eric Larson, The Lady Waiting by Magdalena Zizak, The Familiar by Leah Bardugo, Table for Two by Amor Towles, Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda, A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeek. That one sounded really interesting to me. It's about this girl that like can't stop walking or else she'll like bleed out or something. The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, Murder Road by Simone St. James, which I'm currently reading right now, Happily Never After by Lynn Painter, and Butcher and Blackbird by Brianne Weaver. Let me know which one you guys are going to be picking. And then of course they also have like Celebrate AAPI month selections as well, so you can always go through those as well. So that is it for Book of the Month. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!